And also join us this afternoon is DOJ spokesperson Attorney Polo Martinez. Sir, magandang hapon po and thank you for joining us, Attorney.
Sir,
good afternoon, Attorney.
And it's your first time, I think it's your first time here with our program. So
that's correct, sir. Opo. It's nice to meet all of you.
We hope you enjoyed the discussion and we hope to have you back soon. Pero let me start off with
Enjoy.
Let me start off with this, sir. May lumabas sa Philstar.com today, quoting General Bronner as saying that the PNP CIDG is considering filing charges against retired generals who teka, let me read it to you na lang, ha. It's a story written by Christina Chi. Okay, here we go. Sorry, kailangan ko nasalamin. Okay. The PNP is reviewing possible criminal charges against people urging the AFP to stage a coup, withdraw support from BBM, or form a military junta, General Bronner said on Friday. The PNP-CIDG is studying potential cases against not only retired generals, but all individuals urging military intervention. Bronner said in a radio interview with DZRH. Yung DZRH pala yung interview. So, sir, we're not lawyers. We don't know how things go and what constitutes sedition as far as the letter of the law is concerned. Your thoughts? Is this within the of the DOJ? Is this within the consideration now of the DOJ?
Well, okay, sir. So we have not yet received information with respect to these cases. But if it's with the PNP, then we could expect them, if there is merit in whatever.
Wala po kayo.
Sir, we lost your audio, sir.
Sorry, can you hear me? Am I audible?
There. It's back, sir.
Okay
back.
na.
Sir.
Lalapit ko na yung camera, no?
Okay, sir.
Okay na.
You were saying, sir?
Yes, sir. Opo. So, we have not received information yet on whether or not they will be filing cases. If they're investigating something, they could always coordinate with the DOJ for case build-up in the event that they do file the complaint. But as of the moment, I cannot yet comment on that because we have not received information.
Mm-hmm. But sir, as far as we know, I mean, a lot of things have come out already in the past so many weeks. I mean, since September 21, it's been discussed so openly already. We're wondering lang. Sige, let me start with the basic. Ano yung parameters for something to be called seditious? What does the revised penal code say about that?
So seditious.
Oh, sir, we lost your audio again.
Nawala po
Naputol, sir, audio. Yes, sir. Wala pa, sir, ang audio. We can see you, but the audio is
yung audio ang nawala.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hindi siya. Okay na. Okay.
Kung gusto niyo, sir, magdadab kami ng ano.
So, sorry, intermittent. My Wi-Fi is a bit intermittent, I believe.
Sige, sir.
I'll just explain. Tell me if I cut.
We're good, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Seditious speech is inciting to sedition is when words are uttered, words are said, which incite the public to rise publicly and tumultuously. So, yan po yung mga salita na pag sinabi, it'll incite the public to rise against the government with a certain intention to deprive the government of its powers. So, it's the act of sedition, seditious speech, or seditious actions with the goal of depriving government of its powers. Mm-hmm. So, when the two are taken into consideration, they come together, they both satisfy. That's how sedition could be constituted or could be committed.
Mm-hmm.
Yung recruitment, kasi nagkikwento din si General Bronner na he was actually approached by
Parang nire-recruit sila.
Meron yatang nagpadala ng merong nagpadala ng word na sounding him out about a possible coup. Yung ganon.
Paano po recruitment?
This act ba yun?
Recruitment po in what sense?
Na sumali po kayo sa coup.
Opo. Well, yun po, ma'am, is inciting to sedition. So,
okay.
Krimen sa batas may sedition talaga, may inciting to sedition. So, sedition po talaga yun yung acts that the public rising publicly and tumultuously to deprive the government of its powers. Yung inciting to sedition is, yung nga po ma'am, the words that you used is to recruitment po. Opo. Pag may sinabi tayo na umalma, na nakakaalma sa mga sa publiko.
So, kailangan nyo ba ng complainant o pwede kayo mag-motu proprio? Kasi tinatanong ng mga, lalo na yung progressives, no? Opo. Sabi nila, sila daw, mag-rally lang ng konti na may ganyang-ganyang message. Pinapailan kagad sila ng sedition. Bakit daw yung mga ganyan? Nire-recruit yung AFP chief, bakit daw hindi pailan ng sedition?
Well, depende na po yan, ma'am, sa facts of the case kasi case by case po yan ina-analyze eh. Siguro po pag nabasa ko yung kaso, mas makapagbigay po ako ng aking kuro-kuro. Pero as of this moment, yun lang po, the general idea kung ano po ang sedition at ang inciting to sedition.
Okay, sir. Let me put it this way, sir. If a group, or whether it's a group of retired military officers or a group of former politicians or incumbent politicians, if any person or any group asks, for example, active duty officers to withdraw support from the government, we're talking about active duty officers, withdraw support from the government, or to stage a coup d'etat, what would that be?
Well, in that case, sir, it doesn't really have to be active officers for it to be an act of sedition. Sedition in itself could be done by a private citizen. The crime that you may be referring to is coup d'etat, which is a different crime falling under a different provision in the revised penal code. So, iba po elements na yun. So, it's different po from sedition.
But it's also penalizable. It's also illegal, in other words. Well, yun nga, sir. I'm sorry for going back to that, pero yun nga, we've been talking about this for the past 2 or 3 weeks already, and people have been talking about it so openly. To Ami's point po, to Ami's point earlier, yun nga, pag mag-rally mga kaliwa, dampot.
Arestado at kaso kagad.
Ito 3 linggo na napag-uusapan at it's not underground.
Base po dun sa pagka-explain ni Ma'am, inciting to sedition po kasi kahit na wala pa pong nagaganap na seditious actions or kahit wala pa pong violence na nagaganap, it is punishable. The mere fact of inciting. And under the revised penal code po kasi, hindi po kailangan na people are actually incited. 'Di ba? Na talagang they were riled up to commit something. The mere fact that what the words that were said or the actions that were done had the tendency, the operative word is tendency, to incite people to commit actions that will deprive government of its powers, punishable na po yun. So yun po kaiba ng inciting to sedition, sa sedition mismo, sa coup d'etat. So iba-iba po yung mga krimen na yan and each have their own respective elements. Kaya ang inciting to sedition po kasi, no action, violence has to be committed. Basta may tendency.
So magsasampa na kayo ng kaso dito sa mga seditious elements na ito? Will we see that soon?
Well, kami sir, again, we have not received any information from the PNP. If ang mga kaso pong sinasampa will be coming from law enforcement, they will be filing with the DOJ. Kami po mag-iimbestiga. But it will not be accurate po to say na ang DOJ ang mangkakaso sa mga to without any complaint being filed with the department. Galing po sa law enforcement yun.
Pero wala ba kayong coordination? Halimbawa, nagsalita si Browner. Halimbawa, nagsalita ang PNP. Yung ba ay mga laway lang? Wala ba kayong, bago nila sabihin yan, hindi ba kayo nag-uusap? Na ito yung balak namin gawin? No? Dahil ang nangyayari ngayon, parang yung naririnig mo lang sa press release eh. So, di ba? So, sana bago mag-press release, ay mag-usap muna kayo para hindi nalilito yung tao.
Yes, sir. Opo. I agree, sir. I agree, no? Kasi kami naman po is, yung coordination po namin with law enforcement, nagsisimula lang po kapag may complaint na na-file. Doon lang po papasok yung case build-up. As in the ordinary scheme of things, independent pa rin po ang law enforcement sa DOJ eh. So, only kapag nag-file sila, doon po lang na po namin sisimulan tingnan, okay, pwede tayo mag-usap, tingnan natin if this could proceed to preliminary investigation, kung sapat ang ebidensya to proceed to trial. Pero before that is done, whatever the law enforcement po does is within their own domain.
Yes, I understand that fully. Ang sinasabi ko lang, ano na sa gobyerno din ako before, usually may clustering yan eh. Doon sa clustering, nagpaplano. Dahil sabi mo nga, kailangan yung DILG, PNP, ay nagsasampa ng kaso, yung AFP, kung sakali, i-recommend yan, tapos kayo yung magsasampa. So, ang nangyari kasi ngayon, public kagad eh, no? Yung mga information. No? Kaya medyo nakakalito. Ang assumption ko, meron kayong government cluster na pinag-uusapan yan. Or at least dapat. No?
Wala po information with respect to that, sir, no? But I do agree. Dapat there should be. So we'll probably get back to you on that, sir. No?
Ikalawa, ay hindi ba pwede na yung cluster na yan gumawa ng matrix or mapping? Ano yung mga nangyayari? Ano yung mga ginagawa nyo? Nasa na bang level yung DOJ? Nasa ang level na yung ICI? Nasa ang level na yung PNP? Dito sa anti-corruption matrix na ito. No, para walang overlap at saka hindi confusing. Lang, para very graphic sa tao. O ito yung ginagawa ng ICI, ito ang ginagawa ng DOJ, ito ginagawa ng NBI, no? Ito ginagawa para malinaw sa amin. Hindi nalilito. O ito, yung kasong ito nakasampa na ngayon. No? Ang i-charge diyan ay Solicitor General. Ito ay investigasyon ng ICI, ni-recommend na sa Ombudsman. Yung ganun ba? Dahil ang dami kasi, ang daming ahensya, ang daming investigating body, minsan nakakalito. Nakakalito. Si Ed Lingaw, litong-lito na eh. No? Ayoko nalilito si Ed eh. No? Ayoko nalilito si Ed. No? Si Ani, hindi na
paano ba yung working arrangement nyo ngayon, attorney? Paano ba yung working arrangement with the Ombudsman and the ICI?
Opo, so
with regard to corruption, yung flood control na lang, sige, para hindi magulo. Paano yung nangyayari ngayon? Tinatanong din naman yan ng mga tao eh.
Thank you for your question, ma'am. Currently, ma'am, na-deputize na po ng Ombudsman ang Department of Justice at ang kanyang mga prosecutors sa taga-usig na to conduct preliminary investigation dun po sa 5 complaint na nasa Ombudsman at na-refer back po sa amin. So right now, we are compiling the evidence. We are planning the schedule to conduct preliminary investigation so that kung after our evaluation po ng ebidensya, kung sapat na po ito, we could file our resolution, issue our resolution, whether or not it will proceed to trial.
Sino-sino po yung mga big names dyan? Yung mga kilala namin? Sa 5 kaso?
I cannot disclose, ma'am, no, as to not preempt the resolution by the
bago i-file.
Opo.
Pero pwede din mag-motu proprio ang DOJ? In relation to the flood control o pababayaan niyo munang ICI munang gumawa lahat? Di ba kayo pwedeng, kung sa inyo dumiretso, yan eh? May mga criminal aspects yan di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Kung sa inyo dumiretso, pwede ba?
As long as may criminal grounds po, grounds for the commission of these crimes, sa amin po pwede dumiretso kasi among all the agencies, ang Department of Justice naman po ang and its prosecutors may prerogative to proceed to determine kung may ebidensya sufficient to proceed to trial. So yes, ma'am, the answer to your question is yes. Opo.
Attorney, there's quite a bit of anger and impatience on the part of a lot of people in the public. Dun sa case ni, for example, yung kaso ni Zaldico, he's been named in so many of the cases. Everybody's looking for him. I keep saying he's out in the wind. He's abroad. He appears to be beyond the reach of the government right now. And yet, parang walang umuusad sa kanya. Is there a case already being prepared with regard to Zaldico? Are you free to talk about that? And if there is no case yet, what's taking so long? Kasi lahat po yan, dikit-dikit na eh. Hindi yung ma-cancel ang passport hanggang walang court order, walang court order hanggang walang court case. so parang humahaba na humahaba.
Yes, sir. I understand, no? Ito po kasi issue dyan, and I would like to discuss first the concept of criminal law.
Yes, sir.
For everyone. Criminal laws po kasi are territorial. Meaning, kung wala po dito sa bansa ang isang akusado, we cannot acquire jurisdiction over them. Maliban na lang po sa instances na kunwari, nahanap natin siya sa isang bansa where the country, the Philippines, has a standing extradition treaty with that country, then perhaps we could conduct negotiations for the extradition of this fugitive. Mm-hmm. The problem here is, number one, sir, we do not know where this fugitive is. Number two, even if we do, we are uncertain whether or not may extradition treaty with that country. So yun po yung dalawang hurdles right now that we're working with na we have to contend with. So aalamin po muna saan po ba siya. Pangalawa, may extradition treaty po ba with that country? And only then could we act. Because criminal laws are territorial. And that applies po to all criminal laws in the world with respect to every jurisdiction.
Yes, sir. Pero,
Pero
sir,
hindi ba
even
pwedeng
before,
tuloy-tuloy yung ano? Hindi ba pwedeng tuloy yung preliminary investigation even in the absence of
Yes, sir.
yung isa sa mga akusado?
and the filing of cases. Kasi if you,
Oo.
unless a case is filed, then wala talaga extradition na mangyayari.
Oo, kasi kung iintayin natin na bumalik siya, parang nag-iintayan, di ba?
Oh, yes,
ano
sir.
yung mauuna?
Magiging
Yung investigation
secula
on
seculorum siya.
filing of case? O hintayin natin siyang umuwi? Paano natin siya mapapauwi kung walang extradition or walang red notice to the Interpol?
Mukhang Ami, ang kailangan unang gawin ay DFA i-cancel yung kanyang passport.
Yeah, but
Hindi
yeah,
daw pwede
DFA says
i-cancel
that...
ang passport kung walang court case.
Oo, DFA
Hindi,
says
kanya
walang court
kanya,
case eh.
dapat may magsampa ng court case para i-cancel yung kanyang
Hindi daw uusad yung preliminary investigation para isampa sa korte hanggat wala siya rito.
Yes, chicken
Kaya
and egg.
kagulo.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Tell us, sir.
Ano ba mauuna?
Opo, yun po yung sakit sa ulo kasi it seems like a chicken and egg problem. Ano po mauna?
Oo nga Anong mauuna?
Tama po kayo, ma'am, kasi mauna po dapat preliminary investigation. Pero
Yeah.
po kasi umusad yun, kailangan sapat yung ebidensya para makapagsampa ng kaso sa hukuman. So, if the evidence is not sufficient within the first year, the preliminary investigation, hindi rin po kami makapunta sa court for us to file the information necessary for trial to proceed. At which point, tama po kayo, na doon pa lang pwede request for extradition because may standing crime. So again, it's a chicken and egg problem, but in either phase or level ng criminal justice process, meron po talagang hurdle. And the biggest problem there is the fact that he cannot be located, which leads into number 2, in the insufficiency of evidence enough for us to proceed to trial or for us to conduct preliminary investigation. So yun yung
So insufficient ba evidence?
Pero di ba
Insufficient ba evidence?
Di ba preponderance of evidence at this point?
No, sir.
Parang si Tebes, nung pumunta
Hindi
sa
po, sir.
East Timor.
I would
Diba?
like to clarify po, sir, no, that is
Hindi sila preponderance ngayon, no?
preponderance. Ano po yan, sir, no?
Hindi sila.
Ang preponderance po is with respect to civil.
Civil.
Po, ang preliminary investigation, ang standard of proof is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Medyo mouthful po, no? Medyo mahaba. Pero prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction, meaning, at this point, kailangan may reasonable certainty na po na mako-convict yung tao bago pa po tayo makapag-file in court. Tapos pagdating po sa court, ibang standard of proof naman beyond reasonable doubt. So at each phase po, medyo mataas yung standard of proof. And if pinilit po natin i-file yung kaso ngayon without sufficient evidence, number 1, walabag po yan sa standard of proof that is required for the conduct of PI or for the filing of information with court. Mas mahirap din po ang standard of proof to be met pagdating sa court kung insufficient kasi beyond reasonable doubt na po pagdating doon.
Pero as a fugitive, parang fugitive na siya ngayon eh.
Opo,
hindi ba sapat 'yon as a fugitive? No?
No, sir, kasi
na ika-cancel yung kanyang passport. As a fugitive, nagtatago na siya eh. No?
May passport pa siya, kaya hindi pa siya fugitive. Saka
Pero,
wala
sir,
pang
maybe that,
wala
is
pang
he-
aresto.
Sir, maybe
Hindi,
that is he already a fugitive
ang gulo
legally. Is he a fugitive already?
Hindi. No, ang tatanong ko na lang, at this point, binubuo pa niya yung kaso for prima facie.
right now
So,
po,
hindi pa pala sapat yung mga narinig namin sa mga investigation. Hindi pa sapat. Binubuo pa.
Binubuo pa, ma'am. Kasi, ma'am, of course, maliban po sa DOJ, ang talagang may primary task of investigating and conducting the enforcement of locating Zaldico, of locating his whereabouts, is within the domain of law enforcement po, the PNP, mga police. Nasa sa kanila pa po yun. Again, gaya po ng nasabi ko kanina, the DOJ, the prosecution only comes in kapag may complaint na naisampa sa DOJ. Doon na po magkaka-coordination or tinatawag nating case build-up. So, I mean, a lot of it is bureaucratic ang issue. But the bureaucratic problems only stem from the fact na the person we are seeking or is sought after is not even within the territorial jurisdiction of all these agencies.
Kasi
So,
iniisip
ibig
ng mga tao si Arnolfo Tebes eh. Bakit siya? Nagtago pero napile ng kaso.
Iba po kasi, case to case po yan, ma'am, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Kahit pareho pang prutas, iba naman po kasi yung lasa, iba yung nature. So, mahirap po mag-speculate. Pero ma'am, first, I'm here to clarify as much as I can.
So bottom line ay helpless kayo at this point.
I wouldn't say helpless, sir. No, I guess parang ano lang, may hurdle lang, may hurdle. Helpless kasi is parang defeatist yung mindset eh. We would want to disabuse the public na ganun na po ang posisyon ng Department of Justice. But we would also want to shed light on the fact na there are these obstacles we have to contend with. So it's not as simple as ano na yan, no? Susugurin namin, di ba? As much as we would like to say na makukulong ang kailangan makulong, sometimes it's not as simple as that. You know, there are hurdles you have to contend
Yes, pero sa pagkakapresent mo ng hurdles, parang Mount Everest eh.
Hindi naman po.
No?
Pero sir,
sa pagkakapresent mo
with that analogy, sir, ang Mount Everest naakyat pa rin. Naakyat pa rin ang Mount Everest.
Ayan Kasi pati si Alice Go, nagtago si Alice Go, nahuli. Sir, may nabuo naman kayong kaso sa kanya.
Sir, let me put it this way, sir. Are we anywhere near the filing of a case against Zaldico? Are we anywhere near? I'm talking about the next few days or next few weeks.
Sir, okay, if I'm being frank, not yet. No, not yet.
Malayo pa? Malayo pa, sir?
Hindi naman po siya malayo pa, no? But it's not, again, as with the analogy kanina of sir, is Mount Everest, it's still climbable. We're doing our best. We have explained itong mga obstacles, so at least there's a clear picture of what we're facing. And of course, as time will go by, perhaps siguro in the next month, or maybe we could give further updates with respect to these.
Sige, Mount pa na lang, Mount Apo.
Opo. Opo, yung mga kaya, sir. Kaya yan.
Okay, well, I'm afraid we're out of time. But maraming salamat to DOJ spokesperson, Attorney Paul Martinez. Sir, we hope to have you back again.
Salamat,
sana hindi ka nagsasawa sa amin.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Attorney.
Makulit lang talaga kami. Thank you, sir.